college life can be brutal, especially during finals week. Samantha Blake, a 22-year-old journalism student at Northridge University in Pennsylvania, had one last paper due. It was 10:47 p.m. on a rainy Thursday, and the campus library had just closed. But Franklin Public Library downtown stayed open until midnight, with her laptop slung over her shoulder and coffee in hand. She rushed in just before they locked the doors. The librarian, Mr. Delaney, an elderly man with a shaky voice and thick glasses, greeted her with a nod. She found a seat in the far back corner, where the Wi-Fi was weak but no one would disturb her. Everyone in town knew about the basement level of Franklin Library. Locals called it the Cold Stacks. It housed old archives, microfilms, and books so outdated even the shelves seemed to sag under their weight. Sam never cared for ghost stories, until she noticed her paper topic was only covered in one of those ancient reference books. Reluctantly, she asked Mr. Delaney for access. He hesitated before handing her a small iron key. "Just don't stay too long down there," he warned. "The lights flicker and some folks say they hear things." The stairwell creaked with each step. At the bottom, dim fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Rows of dusty books stretched endlessly. Sam pulled her hoodie tighter as a sudden chill ran down her spine. As she browsed, she noticed something odd, a book jutting slightly from the shelf, its spine cracked and dusty. "The Lost Children of Allegheny," it read. She pulled it out. A photo slipped from between the pages. It was an old black and white image of children in 1920s clothing, all of them with their eyes scratched out. She froze. Was this part of the book? Suddenly the lights flickered, once, twice. Then she heard it, faint whispering coming from somewhere behind her. She turned quickly, heart pounding. "Hello?" she called out. Her voice echoed through the cold stacks. Silence. She tried to brush it off, maybe the old pipes, but then her phone buzzed with a notification. "Unknown number, do not turn around." Sam's breath hitched. She spun around anyway. No one, just rows of books and shadows that seemed to stretch longer than they should. She sat back down at the archive table, trying to calm her nerves. Her laptop screen had gone black. She tapped the trackpad. Nothing. She checked the time on her phone, 2:14 a.m. What? That couldn't be right. The library closed at midnight. She bolted up, grabbed her stuff, and ran upstairs. But when she reached the main floor, it was empty. Not just quiet, empty. No Mr. Delaney, no lights, no sounds of rain outside. She checked the front doors, locked, and then the intercom crackled to life with a voice she didn't recognize. "You were warned not to stay." Lights flickered on in the children's reading room at the far end of the hallway. Drawn by the sound of music, a music box playing something faintly familiar, Sam walked toward it, unsure why. Inside, a boy sat on the carpet, maybe 8 or 9 years old, wearing old-fashioned suspenders. He didn't look up. "Are you lost?" Sam asked. The boy turned his head slightly, revealing a pale face and dark sunken eyes. "I'm not the one who's lost," he whispered. Suddenly, all the books in the room slammed shut at once. Sam ran. Back to the basement stairs, back to where she first found the book. She was going to put it back, thinking maybe she had disturbed something. But the book, The Lost Children of Allegheny, was gone. In its place was a mirror, a tall, dirty mirror reflecting the stacks, but not her. Her reflection was missing. Then behind her, in the mirror's glass, shapes moved, children, watching, smiling. The whispering returned, louder, more desperate. "You shouldn't have come here," they chanted. "Now you'll stay with us." In a panic, Sam bolted up the stairs again. Maybe she was dreaming. Maybe it was stress. But when she reached the front desk, Mr. Delaney was back, sitting quietly. "You're still here," he muttered, not looking at her. "Please, I need to leave," she cried. He finally looked up. His face was pale, his eyes distant. "You found the book, didn't you?" he said softly. Sam nodded. He leaned in closer. "That book doesn't belong to this world, it belonged to them." "Who are they?" he whispered. "The ones the town forgot." Delaney unlocked a drawer and handed her a tattered folder. Inside were old newspaper clippings. 1924, 7 children disappear in Allegheny Forest. Bodies never recovered. Locals blame cult. Each child's name was handwritten in red ink. Sam froze when she read the last one. Samantha Blake. Her name. But that didn't make sense. Delaney shook his head. You were never meant to be here. Not in this time. She looked at him, confused. You're not writing a paper, he said. You're finishing a story that already happened. Yours. Sam stumbled back, dizzy. The walls of the library began to ripple like heat waves. The modern lighting buzzed off, replaced by dim, flickering lanterns. The room smelled like mold and earth. Dust fell from the ceiling. She looked outside. The rain was gone. The street, once full of cars, was now dirt and gravel. A horse-drawn buggy rolled by. No, 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 she whispered. She pulled out her phone. Dead. No signal. She looked at a nearby calendar. June 12th, 1924. She hadn't stayed too long in the library. She had gone back in time. Voices swirled around her. Children laughing, crying, whispering. Sam ran toward the basement again, the folder clutched in her hand. She found the book lying on the table, back where it wasn't before. When she opened it, she saw something horrifying. Each page showed a child. Their eyes scratched out, their faces twisted. The final page was blank. As she stared, black ink bled across the paper, forming her face. Her own eyes vanished from the sketch. The book wasn't a record. It was a trap, a tomb for the forgotten, and now it had her. As the ink dried, Sam's limbs locked up. She couldn't scream. She watched her reflection in the mirror slowly reappear, but her eyes were gone. The boy from before stood beside her now, holding her hand. "You belong with us now," he whispered. The walls of the library shifted again, transforming into rotting wood and stone. This wasn't Franklin Library anymore. This was the place before it, the place where the children vanished. The real building had been torn down, but they'd found a way to remain, through the book, and it needed new names. A week later, a new student entered the Franklin Public Library just before midnight. Finals week stress, coffee in hand, and a paper to finish. The night librarian, a young woman with long hair and hollow eyes, greeted him quietly. She handed him a key. "If you need archived sources, the basement is open," she said. He smiled and nodded, unaware. As he walked away, the librarian turned toward the mirror behind the desk. 7 children stood beside her, all with empty eyes, all smiling, waiting for the next name. Each year one new name, one forgotten child, one late-night visitor drawn in by the lure of silence, solitude, and something deeper. The book was never misplaced. It was always placed, waiting on the right shelf. Franklin Library had a reputation. Quiet, cozy, open, late. But people always said something felt off about it, a place frozen in time. Now, Samantha Blake sat at the front desk every night, smiling politely. She didn't blink. She didn't sleep. She was part of the story now, part of the collection, and the book was never full. Back in the cold stacks, the book sat silently, its spine cracked. Pages yellowed. The photo of the children had changed again. Now there were 8. You could almost hear them if you listened close enough. Soft laughter, distant footsteps, the sound of paper turning itself. And on the last page was your name. Yes, your name, written in fresh ink. Maybe it's just a story, or maybe you should check if your local library stays open late. But if you find a strange old book, don't open it. Some stories, write back. If you've ever stayed late at your local library, you might want to think twice after tonight. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. Have you ever had a creepy experience in a public place at night? I'm watching.